Hello friends, welcome back to Cierra's Circle. If you haven't seen the first episode of this podcast, I definitely recommend watching that and kind of just getting an idea of why I started this podcast, what I'll be talking about, and everything like that. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about what the heck is going on in America. Personally, I am a little scared. Truly, I do not understand how Kamala lost that election. It does not make sense to me. And since then, I have been definitely going through the stages of grief, upset, rage, denial, all that. And it's just very frustrating because these people are under the assumption of a lie. They've been manipulated. They've been told, oh, well, the economy was great whenever Trump was president. Yeah, because whenever Trump was president, we were seeing the effects of Obama's economy plan. Whenever Trump got the presidency, he knew that was going to happen. He banked on that. That's why he was able to say that, and that's why he's able to say now that the economy is going to be good, because Biden just spent the last 4 years making plans and policies, working on fixing the mess ups that Trump did during his presidency. It's not the only reason, definitely not the only reason, but the way that he handled COVID, him with his policies focusing on deregulation and business instead of the people, that messed us up. That messed us up because in 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, and now, we are seeing the effects of Trump's economy plan. They've all been manipulated, and it's very ridiculous because we're going to have a decent economy while he's president, and then we're all going to pay for it afterwards. And also, do you not understand that your kids and grandkids and the younger generations are going to be affected by this? This is what they mean whenever they're like, oh, the older generations didn't look out for us. I don't understand. I don't understand why people think that this is okay. And we're just focusing right now on this for a second on the economy because that's what the main thing is. That's what the main argument is. Oh, well, there was a better economy. Okay, well, could you understand why there was a better economy? Did you ever actually Google it? And then that comes down to, all right, let's talk about abortion. Let's talk about human rights, all that. Have you ever even Googled abortion? Have you ever actually looked up why, in what circumstances would a woman need an abortion? How strenuous is an abortion? What are you even doing? Why are you voting on things that you know nothing about? Why are you putting opinions where you're not knowledgeable about the things that you're putting opinions on? These are baseless opinions. Baseless opinions. And it's hurting people. Killing people. That's so sad. That is so sad. And people just don't care. It doesn't make any sense to me. None. The tariffs are gonna freak up our economy. I just can't even comprehend the legitimate reasons. And that's why you don't want to tell anybody that you voted for Trump or try to talk to anybody about the reasons why you voted for Trump, because you're gonna be proved wrong. You're gonna be proved wrong. And just because you don't want to accept that you are wrong doesn't mean that you're not gonna get the consequences for being wrong. That's not how that works. You're gonna be affected too. he didn't tell me something. Give me something that Trump did that benefited the average American. Please tell me. Kamala had policies that was going to work on our climate change, had policies that was going to work on our housing, had policies that was going to work with child tax credit. She's not perfect. She's not perfect. And I can acknowledge that. Any sane person supporting her can acknowledge that. But she was the better option. She was the better option. And for what reason? Why? One, we evolved to Obama being president and then went to Trump. That's wild. Then we go from Trump to Biden, and I think in my head, and I think many other people thought this too, this has got to be over, right? Like, Trump has got to be over with. There's no way that enough people support him. And there's no way that he's going to be able to be president again. We saw how hectic and divided everybody was from 2017 to 2020, especially January 6th. We saw how bad that was. People feared for their lives. I don't care if you don't like those people in Congress. They feared for their lives that day. That is sad. 4 people died that day. All because you guys lost. And then I've got people on my TikTok. I'm crying, upset about the fact that Kamala did not win this presidency and that we're going to have to endure another 4 years of stress and divide. And then after that, going to have to endure the economy that he ends up messing up. Telling me that crying about also that we're losing human rights, we're like marginalized communities are going to be majorly affected, so many things, telling me that crying about it to get over it, and that saying, someone said to me that it was ridiculous that I was crying, and I said, and it was illogical that I was crying and insane that I was crying, and I said, was it logical and insane for them to go storm the Capitol on January 6th? Whenever they lost? Like, I feel like it's a bit more logical and sane for me to sit here and cry about something that is upsetting. It's so fucking upsetting. Like, I don't understand why people don't get that. And people do get that. Those of you who get it, you get it. You know how bad this can get. And I'm so scared. And I'm not just scared for my future. I'm scared for hopefully my future children. At this point, I'm going to be 30 by the end of his presidency. And our climate clock, I don't care if you believe it or not, our climate clock is at like 4, I think it might be hitting the edge of like right underneath 5 years. We don't have time. We don't have time. And that's really scary. There's no reason that I should bring a kid into this world to be served that kind of future. That's not fair. That's so not fair. I don't want to do that. I really don't. As much as I want a kid. As much as I want a freaking kid and a family. I'm an only child with no parents. And I had a mom. Well, whatever. This is a whole nother story that I'll go into, but the only mother figure that I had died whenever I was 13 from cancer. My biological mother, who partially raised me, she, I'm putting air quotes, sorry, I forgot this was a podcast for a second because I'm also recording video, putting air quotes around raised. She was not really around much, and whenever she was in her room a lot, and so I just have always really wanted a family, and I think a child, very much so. And yeah, it's just very heartbreaking to think that I may not be able to have that. I never met my dad either. Sorry, I meant to say that as well. I never met my dad either. So no siblings, not really a mom, no dad. It sucks. It really sucks. I really thought I was going to be able to build a family and have kids and do all that. And it's just not looking like the best thing for me to do. I don't know. We're really gonna pay for this, and that really sucks. But at the same time, I think that also we will have a little bit of time whenever it gets to 2028, and I think that we need to just focus on really fighting, and we need to just hope that Kamala will run again, because I think that she really has what it takes here to really do this. And I don't know, I just hope that a lot of people actually come to their senses here, because we're really ruining this country. There's no reason that we should go backwards. There's absolutely no reason that we should be going backwards. There's so many things bad about going backwards. Someone said on TikTok, it's in my my repost videos, someone said, we can't take it back to 2010 whenever the gas prices were the way that they were. We're in a different economy. Like, it's not gonna happen. Like, you want to go backwards. This is what they were saying in their video, and I hope that you'll go and look at it, because I want to make sure that we give credit to the actual person who said this. I don't remember what their username was, but they said, well, if you want to go back, then we might as well go back to a nickel, right? Like, let's go back to a nickel. But we can't do that. You can't do that in this economy. And I think that people are just so brainwashed into thinking that we're just going to keep being able to go backwards. And that's not going to happen, especially with Trump as president. Like, that's now, after these 4 years, it's going to look all right, because Biden's plan is going to hit. Like, after these 4 years, then the 4 years after that are not going to be so good. They're going to be bad. Like, this is your future you're betting on. This is your future that you are voting for, and to not be educated on what you're voting for just seems like not a smart move, you know? Like, why vote on something if you know nothing about what you're voting for? If you're only listening to what the candidate is if you're only listening to what the candidate is telling you and not actually looking up any of those things that the candidate is telling you and educating yourself on what those things are, or actually fully educating yourself on the economy and how the economy works, or just how our government works, because for some reason it really seems like a lot of you don't know how the government even works, like the branches of government. Like, look into that. There's even videos online that will probably teach you in a way that you want to learn. Let's go ahead and get toasty one more time. I'll do a little countdown, and then I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. Appreciate you as always. And those of you who are struggling since the election happened, I'm sending you so much love and so much light. And I'm here for you. I'm here with you. I feel the same way. Okay, friends, let's do this in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cheers. Thank you so much for listening. I will see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.